I'm thinking about selling my vacuum cleaner. All it seems to do is gather dust. Welcome to the latest of the Allotment Diaries. This week we'll be looking at things turning around, progressing a bit, and preparation for the asparagus and homemade plant food. So let's start by going to plot 35. Now, come with me, I want to show you something. I found this the other day. This is where I normally park my car. Rhubarb. But I'm not quite sure why it's not doing well, because it's obviously been established in previous years, and the neighbour told me it used to go all along the front of the plot. But when you look at our neighbour's rhubarb, so that's established rhubarb. Mine, not so established. But so my plan is to move the rhubarb to behind this water butt so that it doesn't impede my parking. Unfortunately, I do need this car for certain reasons. Sometimes I have to lug stuff about, and it's rather big. I'd rather really have a smaller car to take the allotment, but I don't think we can really afford just to buy a extra car just to go to the allotment. It's easier to park. Okay, not a lot new to say in the orchard area. The raspberries coming along nicely. Rhubarb also all growing. Asparagus are due this week. Oh, look at that. That leek. It's formed a seed nodule, which means that probably needs to go. A bit like the brassicas, the Brussels sprouts, which I've grubbed up. I'm thinking about getting some tiles down here and maybe having this as a nice, with just a small picnic bench, as a little place to sit when the going gets tough. So, broad beans are not enough. The ones that were unhappy before now look a lot happier, and the ones that I've just recently planted are getting established. I think it's said that when you plant seeds, plant something out, it spends a week looking miserable and complaining about it. There's an odd little sign here, and I'm not sure why we're not getting any carrots or parsnips coming up. I don't understand that. If you have an idea, please let me know. And talking of which, the beetroot are still not looking happy. I thought by now they are, but some are. So at least we're going to get some beetroot. And it did occur to me that if they all germinated, then they have rather too much beetroot. So we'll plant something else. But spring onions are planted out. They're actually looking fine. Over here, ready for later in the season, our beet trench is all prepared. But I haven't even sown the beans yet. These are other beans. Peas are being also a little bit temperamental, getting established. I'm not worrying about this because I've got plenty of spare, because I saved seed last year, because I grew this against the wall and it ended up with lots of pods which are not spotted. So I've got plenty more to germinate from, as we'll see later. And here's my potatoes. As you see, my first ever potatoes grown. Oh, look at that. These are growing so quickly. Even a day apart, you can see quite a difference. So yes, but while I'm here, this little bed, I'll put the Brussels sprouts in. I'll chop them up, and they'll just, I'm going to make that into an no-dig raised bed. They'll slowly decompose. But I have put these a little bit too near the edge, So I have to be careful that I don't incur the wrath of the site manager by having spuds coming up in the middle of the communal path. I won't go in there, but as you see, the strawberries are coming along. Ah, what's this? What's this? Right, let me tell you what is in there. Something which will stink. This is comfrey, growing on the perimeter of the allotment site. It's a weed that has very deep roots, and these roots pull up nutrients into the plant itself. I got permission to chop a load of this weed. This year I remembered to wear gloves because they can be a little bit irritating on the skin. Right. With the comfrey packed into my container, it's just a matter of filling it up with water. Finally, a plastic bag and a board and a brick, because over time this is going to get smelly. Now we just wait a few weeks. I've now moved these out of the greenhouse, and the cauliflowers have survived and the cabbages are looking a lot happier. So actually right at the moment in the greenhouse, not a lot. The globe artichokes, I think they're getting ready to going out, and sweet corn, germinating sweet corn. So that's it. Let's just have a quick look at what's going on back home, and see what. Well, yes, let's see what we're up to there. Excuse the washing. Right over here, we have. Excuse the petals. The asparagus has now been repotted, and in the pots where you can't really see anything, I've sown more peas. So hopefully we'll have more peas, supplement the ones at the plot. Over here, basil. There's something growing, but I don't think it's basil. And these are my cucumbers, which is popping out every day and then spending the night indoors because we don't have room for that. I have sown more lettuces, still waiting for some action there. This is chard, spring onions. I don't know if you remember, but all but one spring onion died, which you can see growing well, but they're beginning to germinate. And radishes, those lettuces that we can now see which ones are surviving and hopefully will thrive, which are not. And these are cabbages, which some, looks like some could do with the water, which is odd because we've had rain. So let's have just a very quick look at what's going on underneath the grow lights. And underneath the grow lights Well, not a lot to be said that we haven't said before. I'm trying not to overwater and try not to underwater. But for the most part, these, which are all tomatoes, are not growing crazily like they were before under the inadequate lights. These ones, as I mentioned before, I replaced this year. So, I think with the warm spell coming, they may be going out to the greenhouse soon. So, until next time, like and subscribe if you wish. Bye bye.